Okay, I'm going to give a little video tour of my 1973 Dodge Dart Swinger with a 360 4-speed. This car was originally a slant 6 car, automatic, and it's been converted to a 360 LA series engine with a 4-speed. Car does have some rust. It's not terrible. It was originally a California car. I have all the paperwork for that. But it spent a couple years in upstate New York and it's acquired some rust. It's not horrible, as I say, but this is just surface rust on the deck lid. I'll go ahead and open the trunk here. You can see that the trunk is very solid. There's just basically no rust at all. Some really light surface rust. Trunk inside is nice and clean. Does have the usual rust underneath the vinyl roof. So unfortunately, even though this vinyl roof is very close to being really nice, I think it's going to have to come off. It's a really nice look with the vinyl roof. As you can see, all the glass is good around. Every piece of glass is in good shape. It's got the flip open gas filler has been added. That's kind of fun. Okay, all the wheels and tires are in great shape. I painted all the rally wheels, and all the tires are brand new, real BF Goodrich TA radials. So they're all in basically new shape. They have less than 1,000 miles on them. You can see the rest of the body here. So it's got, you know, just light rocker rust. Oops, the sun's a little glary right there. It's got some places just, you know, pretty light rust. Some rust right there. Front fender. Grill and bumper's in decent shape. Everything's in pretty decent shape, but not great. I'll pause this here. Okay, the interior is very nice, except for driver's seat panel. I do have a quote from SMS. The vinyls, you can get the exact original vinyl, and it's pretty reasonable. So that would be very doable. It's got the original carpet. You can see the 4-speed installation looks pretty clean. Dash is not cracked. It's in good shape. Door panels are very nice. Headliner is perfect. The headliner is just flawless on this thing. Of course, it makes sense. It's kind of that one-piece hard plastic headliner, but it is perfect. And not surprisingly, the rear seat's perfect. I mean, as they usually should be. Rear seat's in perfect shape. So I really just need to have the front seat recovered. Just the front, just that one panel, really. Okay, all the glass is great. This car is an original air-conditioned car. As you can see, it's an original California car. And all the glass works very smoothly. All the windows go down nicely. I'll put all the windows down. I'm gonna pause it. Okay, just a look at the glass on this side. It's in very good shape. And again, the oops, if I can position here. Windows roll down very smoothly. The rear quarter windows and the front windows roll down very nicely. So you got no surprises there. All the windows work good. The door locks work well. And the interior is really in good shape. And the fun thing about it, it is a factory air car, and it has all the underhood, all the dash controls, and they all work correctly. Blower, everything works well. Okay, as I say, everything does work. The parking brake works, and it holds the car just fine. It's got new parking brake cable. Turn the ignition on. The radio. Oops. Turn the ignition on. Radio works fine. Come from the cities and they come from the smaller towns. It also has kind of a period Spark-O-Matic FM converter, and that works fine. It's kind of goofy, but it fits the era of the car. Turn the ignition back on. That's it. Everything does work. Turn signals work, and you can see that even the little indicators up on the hood work. Do the other side. And all the bulbs work for the turn signals. Wipers work fine. Have new blades. And hey, even the washers work great. And these wipers actually work, so it's nice. You got a fully functional car that you can enjoy. My first car was a 72 Dart, so I've got some nostalgia for this car. And also, just everything works nicely. I'll go ahead and pop the hood. It opens with a real nice pop. And I'll go around and look at the engine compartment. Okay, the engine is a LA Series 360. It's nothing special. It's just a run-of-the-mill truck motor is what I think it is. I think it's like a 78, 79 truck engine. It's nothing hypo. It really needs a cam to wake it up, but even so, it runs pretty good because you put a 360 and a little Dart and it runs pretty fun. But it's got a lot more it could do. It just has a Quadrajet 4-barrel on it, and so a couple things I've added just for drivability. Since I don't drive this car that often, I've added an electric fuel pump in addition to the mechanical. Mechanical is still what I use. The only reason I have the electrical, and I've got it plumbed in with some check valves. The electrical just makes it nice so you don't have to crank and get gas up to the carb. You can just turn a little switch that I've got on under the dash that I haven't cut anything. You can put a switch on just for a few seconds to run fuel up there. The other thing I did in anticipation of adding air conditioning back to this car, I've added some nice electric fans from a Ford Taurus. They put on a lot of air. They cool the engine great, and you don't have to worry about the mechanical fan in the way. Got a little thermostatic control down here to keep, that's actually like at 145 degrees, so it always has 145 degree water available to the thermostat, and it has a 180 thermostat. So normally when you're driving down the road, the fans never come on, but when you come to a stop or something, the fans will kick on for a few seconds. Added a nice big charging wire from the alternator. Doesn't look real pretty, but it's very functional. Add a nice big charging wire over to the battery so you don't run the risk of putting charging current through the ammeter under the dash. So those are just a couple things I've done there. It does have the original Jiffy Jet bag, and you saw the washers work great. And I've also added, oops, let's see if I can show you. Anyway, added a coolant overflow there underneath the washer bag. Go ahead and move that out of the way. Anyway, you can see got a coolant overflow just hidden under there. Just makes it nice. Okay, I've got my wife in the back seat recording me, so we can just show you a little video drive. Car starts really nicely, very easily. So put my seatbelt on like in Bullitt. Alright, and I'm just gonna drive around a little bit to show you how easy it is to drive as a regular car. 4-speed shifts really easily. The car has power steering that works really nicely, but it's not overly boosted. It's original power steering, manual disc brakes. The manual discs work great. I like the feel of them. Good pedal, nice solid stops. The car's not perfect, but it drives well. It goes down the road straight. It feels safe. You can drive it at any speed. In fact, I drove this car when I bought it a few years ago. I drove it from Ithaca, New York, all the way back to Iowa. I drove it like 1,000 miles and didn't have any issue with it. And actually got really good gas mileage because, fortunately or unfortunately, it has kind of highway gears in it. It's got a 8 1/4 with the highway gears. So I'm going 2,000 RPM right now in 3rd gear at 45. If I go in 4th, I'm only going like 1,500 RPM at over 40 miles an hour. But anyway, the car drives just nicely, nice and tame as a regular car. And then when you want to get on it, it gets up and goes pretty good. And I should slow down here. Whoops, big curve. That was dumb. We are at we're right near the Iowa Motor Speedway in Newton, Iowa. And so, seemed like a good place. In fact, straight up ahead, you can see the Speedway stands. But I may do a little acceleration run for you, just myself, without my wife in the car, just to show you. The car does drive fun enough. It's a fun car. I think it's a good starter muscle car. It's not a beast. It's just a plain Jane 360, late 70s model 360, 4-speed, 8 1/4 rear. But when you put it in a dart, it's a fun little car. It's a lot more fun than the original Slant 6 automatic was. So we'll go ahead and pause that video here.